Good evening, everyone.
It is an honor to be here with you today. I want to thank you for welcoming me to the 2024 Aurora Prize Award Dinner. It is such a pleasure to join you all tonight in celebrating another wonderful year of service and impact. I also want to thank Dr. Eric Esrailian for his leadership. All give him a round of applause. I know everyone here is aware of his contributions in our city. Of the Promise Institute for Human Rights at UCLA, I want to thank you for putting on this week's series of events and tonight's engagement. On behalf of the City of Los Angeles and on behalf of its residents, I extend my warmest welcome to all of this week's participants and express my sincere appreciation for your tireless efforts to make the world a more just and compassionate place. Tonight we gather to recognize the remarkable work of the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative and to honor the 3 humanitarians who have been shortlisted for the 2024 Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanity. The City of Los Angeles understands the global impact of exceptional individuals whose courage and dedication have saved and transformed lives worldwide, and we will continue to uplift that work. As always, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting humanitarian causes and partnering to promote peace, justice, and human dignity. Thank you for your continued work, and I am thrilled to present the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative with a certificate of recognition on behalf of the City of Los Angeles.
Armenia, the land of Noah. For millennia, Armenians created an ancient civilization of builders, healers, scientists, and storytellers at the crossroads of world cultures. They survived conquests and empires, contributed to trade, art, literature, and science, becoming a truly global people. In 1915, under the cover of the Great War, 1.5 million Armenians perished from their ancient homeland, along with their culture and way of life. This was a genocide perpetrated by the Ottoman Empire against its own citizens. Across the 4 corners of the globe, men, women, and children fled, seeking shelter and a life of peace. They were determined and resilient. The fortunate ones were saved by unsung heroes who risked their lives. Among the saved children was Aurora Vardanyan, an orphaned 17-year-old survivor of the atrocities. She became the star of Ravished Armenia, the first major motion picture produced in Hollywood about the genocide. Based on her autobiography, Aurora was cast in the starring role, reenacting the trauma of her young life and telling the story of her people. The film premiered to sold-out audiences in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and more than 100 cities across the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and Australia. Aurora's autobiography sold several hundreds of thousands of copies. She became an international phenomenon during the silent film era, a symbol of survival, goodwill, and the devastation of the genocide. She was the icon of philanthropic aid for the survivors. In 1919, the monumental success of Ravished Armenia raised international awareness and $30 million for 60,000 orphans in the Near East. To this day, Aurora remains a testament to the living memory of the genocide and the gratitude of the Armenian people to their saviors. True to her name, Aurora became the symbol of light and hope for an entire generation. Those who survived and resisted the genocide, like Aurora, were scattered around the world and persevered. They rebuilt their lives and communities with dignity, ever grateful to the Samaritans who rescued their families. Men and women like Jacob Kunzler, Bodil Bjorn, Maria Jacobson, Fridtjof Nansen, and so many others put their lives at risk to heal and protect the refugees and survivors. The world today faces man-made disasters not unlike those of a century ago. Every day, heroes worldwide answer the call of human duty. These rare and brave men and women are among us. They are our neighbors. They are the strangers on the streets we pass. They work in the far corners of the world, saving lives with open hearts. On behalf of the survivors of the Armenian genocide, and in gratitude to their saviors, the Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanity honors the power of the human spirit that compels action in the face of adversity. Anyone, anywhere in the world is eligible for the prize. We salute those who dedicate their lives to enabling others to live and make a difference.
Hello, friends. I'm David Ignatius, and I'm excited to welcome all of you to the 2024 Aurora Prize Ceremony, our first ceremony in the great state of California, where my grandfather, Josep Bohos Ignatius, and his wife, Elisa Jemgotian, settled after leaving historic Armenia, and where my father, Paul Ignatius, came into the world 103 years ago and is still going strong.
Hello, Los Angeles. I'm Dalia Attallah, and it is my pleasure to host this evening alongside David.
It's such an honor to have here among us His Excellency Vahagan Khachaturian, the President of Armenia. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Those of you who have been to our previous ceremonies have probably recognized the video we just watched, a video that conveys the story of Aurora Mardiganyan, the inspiration behind the initiative. Showing it has always been a tradition for Aurora, and we are excited to share it with you.
We're gathered for a wonderful and momentous occasion, but unfortunately, our world is in terrible shape. With so much human suffering, it often feels that conflicts are unending, overlapping and multiplying. Since our last ceremony in October 2022, we've witnessed so many tragedies. We've seen wars in Ukraine, Yemen, Sudan, Gaza, Israel, and so many regions of the world. We've seen ethnic cleansing in Nagorno-Karabakh, Artsakh, where 120,000 Armenians were exiled from their homes. With these crises has come the tragic loss of lives of hundreds of humanitarian workers whose sole mission is to lift others from danger and distress. There is still no peace in so many corners of our world, and our common humanity is suffering.
No words can aptly describe the enduring pain these crises inflict, and our thoughts go to those who suffer. Chef José Andrés, founder of World Central Kitchen, knows firsthand the devastation conflict brings to people's lives, having recently experienced the tragic loss of dear friends and colleagues working in Gaza. He has recorded a special video message for us, so let us watch it now.
Humanitarians of the world, this is Chef José Andrés, and I'm deeply honored and grateful to the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative for this opportunity to say a few words. You know, at a time when it seems humanity is facing bigger and more complex challenges, it is inspiring to come together and celebrate the remarkable dedication of humanitarians worldwide. When it feels there is darkness everywhere we turn, it has never been more important to look for the light. As you know, this is very personal for me. Last month, 7 members of our World Central Kitchen team were killed by an IDF airstrike in Gaza. They risked everything and gave their lives to provide one of the most basic human needs, bringing food to the hungry. Amidst the immense pain of their loss, we have also witnessed the steadfast spirit of resilience. Last week, our local Palestinian teams courageously resumed feeding their fellow Palestinians, providing meals to those in extreme need despite facing tremendous challenges. The state of humanitarianism today, I will say, is complex and demanding. More than 250 humanitarians have been killed in Gaza alone since October, and around the world, relief organizations face constant threats. There is an urgent need to protect and support those on the front lines. This is why grassroots humanitarian movements are so important. They possess an essential understanding of their community's needs and serve as an example to all of us. So, to the Aurora Humanitarians present here tonight, I applaud each and every one of you for unwavering commitment to improving your communities and the world. Your dedication and selflessness serve as a beacon of hope and an inspiration for us all. But you deserve more than praise and recognition. You deserve the support of governments, UN agencies, the private sector, and big NGOs, all of whom must demonstrate their commitment to your work, not just with words, but with tangible actions. In times of adversity, solidarity becomes our greatest strength. I want to reiterate that Aurora Humanitarians are not just ordinary individuals. They are extraordinary heroes, making a profound impact on the world. And let me be clear, you are not alone. Let us continue to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as we navigate complexities of our world with empathy, respect, and a steadfast commitment to making a difference. From the deepest part of my heart, thank you.
Such powerful words from my friend, Chef Jose. He embodies the idea of gratitude in action. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite those of you who are able to please rise from your seats and join us in a moment of silence. Let us take this time to remember and respect all those who perished and those who continue to suffer in our world today. Thank you. Amidst all these challenges, it's important to stay true to our vision. We Armenians know suffering, and we know survival. We're grateful for what we have, and Aurora's motto, as was said before, is gratitude in action. Aurora believes that even in the darkest times, a brighter future is in the hands of those who are committed to giving others help and hope.
And who embodies this philosophy better than the inaugural Aurora Prize laureate who has saved and helped thousands of children during and after the civil war in Burundi and continues her life-changing work today? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marguerite Barankitse, 2016 Aurora Prize laureate and founder of Maison Shalom.
Wonderful evening. They asked me to speak in English. I will try. If you don't understand, please ask to your neighbors. Yes, I am so happy to be here this evening. I want to call you my brothers and sisters. Of course, you know I am Maggie Barankitse, founder of Maison Shalom, House of Peace. In 2016, I had this blessing of being named the inaugural Aurora Prize laureate. And that day changed completely my life, because in my country they condemned me for perpetual prison. I became a criminal. But in the same year, Aurora Prize gave me a crown. Then, from criminal, I became for to awakening humanity. Over the years, the Aurora Prize Ceremony were organized in different places, including Yerevan. I have been in Yerevan, New York City, and Venice. They are all connected thanks to Aurora and thanks to Aurora co-founders who taught us the idea of gratitude in action. I know that Aurora is doing a great, amazing work around the world. You don't know how we are so proud in the world to have this Aurora Prize. Even when facing extreme challenges like the world is today, it's important to remember there is still hope for the future. Love is always stronger than hate and violence. Love wins, however. We must stay positive, stand up and shining of our humanity. We must believe in this power of compassion. Thank you to have this compassion. I want to express my gratitude to our dear late Papa Vartan, whose spirit still guides us, to our Ruben, as we all pray for these release. To you, Noubar, for your energy and compassion. You create this important prize to help those who help others. You are making an extraordinary difference in the world. Together, the impossible became possible. Thank you to exist.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Your smile always just lights up the world. We would like to use this opportunity to thank UCLA for welcoming us here in this great location. It's such an honor and pleasure to have our event here. We're grateful to all of our sponsors and supporters, and our special appreciation goes to the Milken Institute and its chairman, Michael Milken. Now, we want to take a moment to acknowledge in particular the co-organizer of the 2024 Aurora Prize events, the Promise Institute for Human Rights at UCLA Law School, and personally, Dr. Eric Esrailian, its co-founder, for their incredible generosity.
Dr. Esrailian, UCLA professor and chief of the Vache and Tamar Manukyan Division of Digestive Diseases, led the efforts to establish the Promise Institute for Human Rights at UCLA in 2017. Entrepreneur, philanthropist, and Emmy-nominated film producer, he was inspired during his work on the acclaimed 2016 film The Promise, which had its trailer showcased at the historic inaugural Aurora Prize Ceremony in Yerevan, Armenia. Today, Dr. Esrailian sits on Aurora's board of directors.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Eric Esrailian.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. First of all, I just want to thank all of you for your attendance, your participation, and your support of these incredible Aurora Prize events. I would like to thank the entire Afeyan family for their vision, their generosity, and their leadership. Anna and the incredible Armin, who has really led this organization now, and let's give her a round of applause. Truly deserved and remarkable. And I want to thank my dear friend Noubar, who is not only a dear friend, but a partner in many ways, even beyond Aurora, for being such a role model to many of us, including me. I also want to thank so many friends and partners in the room from different aspects of my life for coming together and helping me in everything that I do. I also want to specifically thank our dear friend, Michael Milken, who was mentioned before, who is also a partner, a mentor, and an incredible person. And he helped us connect the Milken Global Conference, which is one of the most unbelievable conferences anywhere in the world, to the Aurora Prize events in such a synergistic way to help us do as much good as possible. And as I'm standing here today, I'm thinking about the origin story of our work on the film The Promise, and I see my dear friend and partner Mike Medavoy here, and how the film helped to establish the Promise Institute for Human Rights at the UCLA School of Law, which is now led by Hannah Gary. Let's give her a round of applause as well. She has also worked tirelessly, as well as her entire team and faculty, to help make these events what they are. And subsequently, we also launched the Promise Armenian Institute at UCLA. For the Promise, thank you. Let's see that too. Why not? For the Promise Institute for Human Rights at UCLA, the goal was to create a campus hub to foster academic research, advocacy, particularly in the area of human rights. And I also owe a debt of gratitude, and I want to thank Chancellor Jean Block. Please give him a round of applause. Chancellor Block had the vision, and we discussed where to put such an institute, and he suggested the School of Law as an academic home. And we wanted to help UCLA to build on its reputation as a global leader in the field. Like the Aurora co-founders, we found inspiration in persevering through the darkest part of Armenian history to try to prevent similar atrocities in the future. And today, the Promise Institute for Human Rights is a testament to that passionate commitment to shedding a light on pressing humanitarian issues and educating the next generation of leaders. And for me, as Aurora's ardent admirer, I am filled with immense pride as I reflect on the remarkable growth of the initiative over the years. I recall coming to Yerevan for that initial meeting and prize, and I didn't know what to expect, but I'm so moved to see what everyone has accomplished, and I'm honored to be a part of the initiative now. It is truly inspiring to witness how this cause has expanded its reach and has changed the lives of so many people around the world, maybe millions. And it is only fitting that our collaboration with Aurora has culminated in this significant occasion, and I'm so grateful for all of you for being here, with our shared missions aligning to maximize our combined impact. Now, over the years, Noubar and I have had endless discussions about many things. Human rights now is in the forefront. There was a time we were talking about COVID-19, but he helped save the world, so we're now moved on to other things. Yes, please give him a round of applause there, too. I have to remind people that there was an Armenian at the head of the table when it came to that, and we're truly grateful. And we've had endless discussions about the best way to approach bringing these two institutions together in a way that puts both humanitarian issues and human rights at the forefront. The 2024 Aurora event in Los Angeles, organized together with the Promise Institute for Human Rights at the UCLA School of Law, are a testament to what we can achieve when we join forces with genuine, committed, and altruistic people, like all of you in the room, and the many people who work with you behind the scenes who are not here with us tonight, because we know this is the tip of the iceberg. Tonight, we are gathered in a bastion of knowledge and one of the finest universities in the world, and I'm highly biased, but I will say that. I feel so much gratitude. I mean, this is gratitude in action. I feel so much gratitude for the opportunity to be a small part of such a powerful event in this historic location. And I would like to encourage all of you to remember this moment as we celebrate the potential of collective action in advancement of the cause to make humanity actually something we can all be proud of. I mean, the stories you were going to hear, the people you were going to be hearing about are truly the types of people that we should all aspire to be, and I'm so grateful to be in your presence. So let us all continue to work together to create a brighter future for generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. Back in 2015, Aurora co-founders Vartan, Ruben, and Noubar chose New York City as the place to launch the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative, honoring a long humanitarian tradition associated with that city and the nation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Since then, many people have joined from around the world in Aurora's global humanitarian mission, including me. It's been a wonderful place for me to put my energy these last years.
We are proud to be able to bring together so many people of different faiths, nationalities, and cultures, and joined by the common purpose of kindness to our fellow humans. As we celebrate our shared humanity, let us now prepare for a moment of reflection and gratitude.
We have the honor to have with us tonight His Eminence Archbishop Hovnan Derderian, Primate of the Western Diocese of the Armenian Church. Your Eminence, may I ask you to come up here and say a few words in honor of the cause that's brought us here together tonight.
Gracious and compassionate God, as we come together in the spirit of humanitarianism for the 2024 Aurora Prize Ceremony and dinner, we humbly seek your presence to bless our gathering and infuse our hearts with the essence of selfless service and compassion. In this esteemed assembly, where we honor those who have devoted their lives to the advancement of humanity, we are reminded of the profound impact that acts of kindness and generosity can have on the lives of others. May your guiding hand be with us as we collectively endeavor to uplift and empower those in need, nurturing a world where the inherent dignity and worth of every individual are upheld and cherished. Grant freedom to those held captive by oppression and injustice, O Lord, and sow seeds of peace in regions torn apart by conflict and war. Let your light shine brightly in the darkest corners of our world, bringing hope and healing to those who have endured unimaginable suffering. As we champion the protection of basic human rights, territorial integrity, and sovereignty of nations, may we also uphold the principles of democracy and freedom, and let us foster environments of peaceful coexistence where tolerance, respect, and understanding flourish, nurturing the bonds that unite us as members of the human family. In the spirit of embracing our shared humanity, let us heed the timeless wisdom of Christ, who taught us to love one another as he loved us. May the universal message inspire us all, regardless of our cultural backgrounds, to embrace one another with open hearts, extending love and compassion to all who cross our paths. May our actions be guided by love, empathy, and a profound sense of responsibility towards one another, as we labor tirelessly to construct a future where all people can live with dignity and peace. Bless this gathering with your grace and compassion, instilling within us a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to the service of others. May the spirit of humanitarianism that unites us tonight continue to inspire and uplift us, guiding us towards a brighter and more hopeful tomorrow. In your boundless mercy, we offer our prayers. Amen.
Good evening, dear guests. My name is Diana Adamyan, and it's such an honor to be on this stage and perform for you at Aurora Prize Ceremony. I'm humble and grateful to Initiative for this opportunity. I want to thank the Yerazart Foundation, created and founded by Afeyan and Festekcan families, for their support for over the years. I will never forget my first ever concert in the US, which took place in Noubar and Anna Afeyan's living room when I was just 12. You have truly given me everything I needed to embark on my creative journey and pursue my dreams. So many wonderful people helped me to get where am I today, and although I cannot mention them all today, I would like to express my greatest appreciation also to AGBU for believing in me. I want to dedicate Gurung by Komitas to the people suffering from modern-day atrocities. Let us all do our best to offer them hope and support in their time of need, so they too may have a chance to see their dream come true. Thank you.
After winning the first prize at the 2018 Yehudi Menuhin International Competition, the world's most prestigious prize for young violinists, this talented performer went on to receive first prize in the 2020 Khachaturian Violin Competition. So thank you so much, Diana.
Grung was written by our great Armenian composer Komitas as a reflection on a life left behind and a new life that awaits. This is a sentiment many Armenians are very familiar with, as our ancestors who had survived the genocide had to start from scratch in a new place.
We have a special guest with us tonight, Joe Manganiello, actor, producer, director, and author. He is also a descendant of an Armenian genocide survivor. Come join us on the stage, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm extremely honored to have been asked to come here tonight by Noubar. Thank you so much. I'm a huge fan of Aurora, and I'm just happy to be excited to be a part of this evening. Aurora's work to empower our modern-day heroes as a tribute to the survivors of the Armenian genocide of 1915 and all those who helped our ancestors long enough so that they could have children to pass their culture on to is deeply personal to me. My maternal great-grandmother, Tervez Darakchan, or Rose, as she was called in America, was one of the survivors. Her entire family was exterminated, including her husband, who was removed from their village in Harput, Armenia, and killed along with all of the other able-bodied men prior to the attack, and then her 8 eldest children, who were brutally murdered in front of her before her 9th child, an infant, drowned on her back in a river during her escape from the Turkish death marches. Growing up, I'd hear haunting bits and pieces of my great-grandmother's story from my mother and my aunt, which I couldn't fully comprehend at the time, but now as an adult, I realize that it's my responsibility to speak up and tell the story of my great-grandmother's plight, for I am humbled by the grit and resilience of all those who survived the genocide amid unfathomable atrocities, and given hope by the kindness of those individuals who helped them live so that we could all be here to carry on their legacy tonight. When I learned about Aurora and its driving principle of gratitude in action, I was instantly moved and inspired. Aurora not only raises global awareness of the Armenian genocide in order to present similar atrocities from taking place in our modern world, but also empowers extraordinary individuals across the globe doing unfathomable work to help others. And it's through this kindness and selflessness of those individuals that the humanitarian spirit thrives, touching the lives of those who need it most. And now that the Aurora movement is growing in the United States, I look forward to increasing my involvement with this important work. Just call me anytime. So thank you, Noubar, for inviting me to be a part of this inspiring event, and I look forward to continuing the celebration of the 3 Aurora Humanitarians and the crowning of this year's Aurora Prize laureate. Thank you for having me.
So, thank you, Joe. I think a lot of people in the audience share your feelings as descendants of the genocide survivors. I'm honored to count myself among them. My father's family comes from the same town you mentioned, Harput, in historic Armenia. In 1915, our relatives there experienced the terrible events of the genocide as you so hauntingly describe. So thank you for speaking so powerfully.
It is devastating to see that so many similar tragedies are still happening today. Our hearts go to Aurora co-founder Ruben Vardanyan and his family as he remains unjustly detained after his unlawful arrest in September 2023 by the government of Azerbaijan. The fact that Ruben has found himself a victim of the same gross human rights violations as those he has sought to prevent over the last 20 years is deeply heartbreaking.
Let's now watch a message from Ruben's wife and lifelong supporter in all his philanthropic endeavors, a person whose light and love fills even the darkest places, Veronika Zonabend, founding partner and chair of the Board of Governors of the UWC Dilijan College in Armenia.
Dear guests and participants of the 8th Aurora Prize Ceremony, from Armenia, Yerevan. I'm standing here at the Garden of Idea Foundation, which was established almost 25 years ago by Ruben and I, together with our partners and friends. Aurora was born within those roots, founded by Noubar, Vartan, and Ruben. Before I read the message from Ruben, I want to express my personal, deep and sincere gratitude to all of you, to Aurora community, to Aurora leadership, for support and compassion. Being over 200 days imprisoned in Baku, Ruben and other Armenian prisoners were supported by you, and you were standing in solidarity with them with your bold actions demanding their immediate and unconditional release. More recently, during Ruben's hunger strike for 20 days, you raised your voices together with the voice of the family, and this is invaluable. Thank you again. Here is Ruben's message. Baku, prison, 2024. In 2015, in the run-up to the 100th commemoration of the Armenian genocide, Vartan, Noubar, and I, reflecting on how to mark the fateful day, decided that we should not only honor the memory of those who perished during the catastrophe, we also wanted to express our gratitude to those who helped them and saved their lives. We wanted to change the Armenian narrative from that of victimhood and the past to a new perspective, facing the future with hope. We launched the initiative to express gratitude on behalf of our nation, honoring modern heroes, helping them carry on with their hard work and promoting good deeds. We were dreaming about Yerevan to become a humanitarian capital of the world, joining together as one nation with Armenian diaspora scattered around the globe as the result of genocide. Thanks to Aurora, I met people who taught me the most important lesson: remaining true to human values and your own principles, irrespective of the situation, and follow your path. My decision to move to Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, was motivated by Aurora heroes. I made a choice to be with the people who needed help and wanted to help in any way I could. Being here totally isolated from the world for nearly 8 months, I have a lot of time to reflect. I have no regrets about taking that path. I am deeply grateful to you for inspiring me to do the right thing. Now I understand much better what motivates Marguerite Barankitse Tom Katina, and other Aurora laureates, and why they have the strong belief in the power of one individual to make a difference. There is simply no choice but to try. Unfortunately, our world has not become kinder through your good work, but this means that what you do is more important than ever. Your commitment to helping others in this joint mission of ours gives me strength here. I am now more convinced than ever before that values and principles are more important than even life itself. I wish you every success in your mission, and I'm sending my warm congratulations to this year's laureates. I'm confident that together we can do a lot to make the world a better and kinder place for everyone. As Margaret likes to say, love always prevails. So let love and values prevail. Let all of us be prepared to give more than we ever hope to receive in return, and that each of us can make a big difference. Thank you.
So thank you to Veronika. That was so deeply moving as she read Ruben's words. I think many of us could see Ruben's face in our mind's eye, and that passionate, dedicated person that is Ruben Vardanyan. He is an Aurora hero for right now. We all hope and pray that Ruben will be released soon and reunited with his family. His spirit is with us tonight. Back in 2015, as Ruben was remembering, he and two other exceptional Armenians, Noubar Afeyan and our late Papa, Vartan Gregorian, came up with an innovative idea to transform the traumatic historical experience that we Armenians have in our hearts into a global movement created to help those who need it most. They could not have imagined just how much the world needed this vision, as we see this year.
To date, Aurora has already benefited more than 3.2 million people and initiated and supported more than 427 projects in 56 different countries and territories. And tonight, you have a chance to hear all about this journey from one of the Aurora co-founders.
Please welcome Dr. Noubar Afeyan, Aurora co-founder and chair of the board of directors, founder and CEO of Flagship Pioneering, and co-founder and chairman of Moderna.
Good evening. Your Eminence, Mr. President, Ambassador of Armenia, welcome to all our dear friends and family. I want to start my comments by referring to Veronika's sentiments. Many people in the room have known Ruben for decades, and they knew him as the heart and soul of this project. It's been a very painful experience for us Armenians, particularly in the diaspora, to see a brother of ours imprisoned for his beliefs and for his humanitarian activity. I want to call on the President and the Ambassador and all of our colleagues in the Armenian government to prioritize seeking the release of not only Ruben, but also all the other political prisoners. I appreciate the bind that the Armenian government's in, surrounded by essentially hostile governments, constantly under pressure for their mere existence. Nevertheless, in the face of that kind of atrocity threat, they, like the humanitarians we're honoring tonight, have to stand up for what's right. Ultimately, seeking peace at the expense of justice guarantees neither peace nor justice. I want to take us back to the journey we're on, because we're building up towards the moment where we honor all the finalists and announce the laureate. Indeed, as you've heard many times tonight, this is a project rooted in the spirit of gratitude and action. Gratitude was instilled in all of us, descendants of the Armenian genocide. And when we find mere thanks and building of statues and various other things insufficient, we needed to actually bring that sentiment to life by identifying those modern-day heroes who are essentially stepping into the shoes of those who saved our ancestors to enable their work, thereby creating this cycle of gratitude and action that you've heard about. This is the beauty of gratitude and action, how our good fortune gives every one of us in this room the impulse to give forward. Vartan used to say, gratitude has no expiration date. Having spent my entire career in the world of biotech, I've come to think of gratitude as being like a stem cell. Those of you who remember your biology will remember that a stem cell has a unique property that it both makes a new cell and makes a copy of itself. It's an immortal form of a cell. And that's essentially what we're trying to instill in people, this perpetual sense that when you express your gratitude through enabling somebody else, you instill gratitude in them, and your gratitude renews, so you can express it again and again and again. And that's really what this project's all about. When we started Aurora, the idea was for this to last 8 years. The same number of years as the Armenian genocide from 1915 to 1923. But as time passed, we came to see that this project could play a far larger and more enduring role. That the suffering of one nation, the Armenians a century ago, could fuel a global movement. To date, Aurora has initiated, as you heard, and supported more than 427 projects in 56 countries and territories, aiding those who face dire straits to their health, human rights, livelihoods, and often their survival. You've just heard from some of those whose lives are far better because of Aurora's support. Now tonight we are marking and celebrating. At the same time, I can't ignore the cruelty of this moment. As we prepare to announce the newest recipient of the Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanitarian, the 8th time we're bestowing this award, Armenians as a whole are once again the target of ethnic cleansing, and the country of Armenia itself faces, as I mentioned, existential threats to its sovereignty and to its self-determination. I mentioned about Ruben, and you heard as well about the co-founder Vartan. I must say I'm feeling entirely lonely in this activity, and I'm not looking for your sympathy, but I'm looking for you to keep them in your minds as we do this, as we cross this journey. I'm just their representative. Vartan passed away in 2021, and while he's not here physically, I know that both of them are here in spirit, and I wonder, what would they say? What would they do? Trying to get their spirit channeling through me. I think a lot about paradox. It's been everywhere in the recent weeks. On April 24, Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day, I raised my voice in a global letter calling for action to prevent another imminent genocide. It was published in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Times of London. But at the same time, while preparing for tonight, I've been reminded again and again of the immense good in the world, the courage, the selflessness of our modern-day heroes. You heard all about that throughout today. The power of their work, both now and into the future. Anger and outrage, awe and inspiration. These are two very different mindsets, and yet there's a common thread. The Armenian genocide is often called the forgotten genocide, and today Armenia stands at the same brink of being forgotten again. But it's not just Armenia. In this time of polycrisis, many of the world's greatest crises go unnoticed or ignored. People get overwhelmed. Empathy turns off. There's a name for this phenomenon. It's called psychic numbing. And while it's understandable, it's just not okay. Which is a big reason we designed Aurora to operate as it does. This year's 3 Aurora Humanitarians work in Bahrain, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Iran, all of which are in the midst of humanitarian crises, but none of which rank high on the world's collective radar. Aurora stands for the forgotten. It's in our DNA. Forgotten people, forgotten crises, forgotten genocides. We know what it's like to be forgotten. We know the scars it leaves, and we stand in solidarity with all people who experience this today. We also know the extraordinary power of heroic individuals. Those who survived the Armenian genocide were not rescued by governments or NGOs, but just other human beings. It's in that spirit that the Aurora Prize goes to individuals, to modern-day heroes whose work can have vast ripple effects. We believe on-the-ground leaders are best equipped to know where investment will yield the greatest impact. They are the experts here, which is why only a portion of the $1 million Aurora Prize funds the laureates' work directly, and the majority share of the prize is designated by the laureates to fund grassroots activities of their choosing. As we often say, we are all about putting the human back into humanitarian. Now, as some of you may remember, Vartan always recited this quote from Bertolt Brecht's Galileo: "Cursed be the land that needs heroes." But he would always continue to say, you know, given human nature, I'm afraid we're always going to need these heroes. Tragically, recent history continues to bear this out. The need for modern-day heroes has never been greater. With your help, we will keep their numbers growing and expand Aurora's impact exponentially. As I mentioned this morning at the conference, I've increasingly come to think that humanitarians as a network are the most appropriate vaccine against the infection of evil that seems to be spreading across the world. I can't think beyond that notion, but that's what I think. Again, let me express, to close, my heartfelt gratitude to partners, to sponsors and donors for supporting Aurora's mission and programs, specifically this year's events in Los Angeles. I want to thank Eric, the co-chair of this event, who's done a tremendous job, and his team. Thank you, Eric. I want to thank UCLA. I'm kind of feeling like a temporary Bruin before I go back to Boston. I want to thank the Milken Institute. Many of you will not know that Michael Milken also has a long-standing relationship with Ruben. In fact, I first met him through Ruben. I didn't meet him through an American contact. I met him in Moscow through Ruben. And so Ruben meant a lot to a lot of us, and it really means a lot to me, Michael, that you're here tonight. There's a lot more people I want to thank. I hope you feel the impact of your gratitude and action, and that you'll join us in the years ahead to keep the impact growing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Noubar, for sharing your powerful vision and words with us, and for everything that you do. Tonight, we heard from two co-founders or their loved ones, and of course, we ponder Aurora's impact and plans for the future. We feel even more acutely than ever the loss of Vartan Gregorian, the third co-founder, who's no longer with us. For me, one of the most poignant moments in the history of Aurora ceremonies was the tribute to Vartan during the final part of the 2018 Aurora Prize Ceremony, when Noubar, Ruben, and selection committee members read paragraphs from Vartan's book, The Road to Home, My Life and Times. I want to share those emotions with you too, so I want the video from that unforgettable evening to be shown tonight to remember Vartan. And now, for all of you, a special surprise that recapitulates the life of a man beloved by all, a life told in chapters by some special friends.
From Tabriz, Iran, to New York City, a poor boy yearning for knowledge, a wandering Armenian who ended up on the society pages of the New York Times. This is the life it has been my privilege to lead.
Now, as I sit in my office under a portrait of Andrew Carnegie, I am given to reflecting on the long voyage that brought me here. In Lebanon, my first mentor, Simon Varatzian, the last prime minister of the short-lived First Republic of Armenia, was a surrogate father, teacher, and benevolent benefactor. He became very fond of my wife, Claire, admiring her courage, tenacity, and independence.
Many mentors, friends and strangers have helped and guided me along the way, as well, of course, as my wife and children.
I had a great empathy for Carnegie and detected some similarities in our backgrounds. We were both boys from poor families. We both knew in our hearts, in our bones, that education would save us and direct us. That, in fact, education is the key to a better life for everyone, no matter who they are or where they are born.
I certainly was proud and felt triumphant that the boy from Tabriz, who was too poor to own his own volumes and was even unable to borrow and rent books, ended up lending millions of books to the people of New York.
A book to me is still one of the most extraordinary creation of man, because it is a gift of knowledge. A book contains dreams, ideas, and ideals. It contains notion about reality and utopia, about revolutions, and a clue about life and freedom and happiness.
To construct and cherish a library is to invest not only in ourselves, but in future generations. A library is a legacy. A library is a mirror to the past and a window to the future.
Knowledge about the world, both its tangible qualities and its ephemeral mysteries, and about each other, our glories and our follies, is the only way to narrow the great gulfs that divide us.
As a young boy in Tabriz, I had read about the terrible devastations wrought by the Great War, including the deportations, atrocities, and genocides perpetrated against the civilian populations.
One thing is clear. Peace will be rooted in understanding how the differences between us, between states, between peoples and nations cause conflict, and in finding ways to managing those differences instead of letting them explode into hostilities.
Andrew Carnegie himself said that he wanted the philanthropies he had begun to do real and permanent good in this world. I had no money, so I've learned through Carnegie's legacy what is possible to do with money. Give it away. In much the same way I had learned earlier how a boy who had no books could grow up to be a man dedicated to using the resources of many to provide books for millions.
And now, with great emotion from all of us, I want to invite our cherished friend and mentor, Vartan Gregorian, to the stage.
Thank you. Aurora has already empowered so many humanitarians worldwide, raising awareness of their courageous work and creating a global network of like-minded individuals to elevate their ability to have a tangible impact on the life they touch.
These people, known as the Aurora Luminaries, are grassroots activists, helping the most vulnerable whose basic needs and rights are often overlooked. If you want to know more about their work, please check out a new website dedicated to them at www.auroraluminaries.com.
And we have planned a special tribute to these outstanding people. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aloe Blacc, This Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter is best known for his songs Wake Me Up and The Man.
Aloe Blacc has long been involved in philanthropy. Now he's extending his commitment to social issues by teaming up with Aurora, so we couldn't be more excited to have him here. We just gave him a round of applause. Let's let him play.
It is a tremendous honor to stand before you, all of you who are here to honor these amazing, brave humanitarians. I'm going to sing a song to you about nostalgia for the innocence of childhood and hope for a better tomorrow. This is called Wake Me Up. Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. We all have an opportunity to be a humanitarian. We should take today as the first day in our journey as a humanitarian for our community, for our states, for our nations, for the world. I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have 2 hands. I hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. I wish that I could stay forever this young and not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. 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 So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, good evening, and congratulations to all Aurora luminaries. I am in awe of your courage and dedication, and it is an honor to be here tonight to celebrate your remarkable achievements. When I first heard from my friend Noubar Afeyan about this powerful initiative and the Aurora Prize, I felt deeply inspired. As an artist, I was moved by the stories of modern-day heroes who wake up in the morning and decide to devote themselves to making our world a better place. To me, That is the human spirit, the true spirit of humanity. I wanted to join this life-affirming cycle of support and give back to all these wonderful people. I decided to write an anthem honoring them, and I couldn't be happier that tonight I'll be performing for you this new song that I call Shine. It holds a special meaning to me. And you are the first ones to hear Shine, as it will be released worldwide after this performance. I'm so grateful to you. And I want to dedicate this performance to all those who shine the light of hope in the darkness. May this anthem serve as a tribute to your unwavering commitment to making a difference in the lives of others. Thank you.
In the darkness of despair, where your fears grow deep inside, and no one seems to care, and all your hope has nearly died. Well, I believe in you. I believe in you. And I know that you will shine to show us the way you will shine. To show it's okay, you will shine forever and ever and ever and evermore. You will shine to show us the way you will shine. To show it's okay, you will shine forever and ever and ever and evermore. And for all of us, for all of us, when you stand up for what is true, and you fight, yes, you fight for what is right. When love becomes your only rule, the golden rule, that's when you are the greatest light. You will shine. You gonna shine. Shine. You gonna shine. Will you shine to show us the way? Will you shine to show it's okay? Will you shine forever and ever and ever and evermore? Will you shine to help us along? Will you shine to help us feel strong? Will you shine forever and ever and ever and for all of us, for all of us, for all of us, you will.
Thank you so much for this amazing gift. It was truly incredible. Aurora has truly been blessed to have so many outstanding activists and humanitarians and artists join the community created by Noubar, Vartan, and Ruben.
So just to go off script for a minute, I want to say, wow.
Yeah.
That was incredible. I feel like Aurora has a new anthem. It's our pleasure now to invite on stage Alice Greenwald, Aurora board member and founder and principal of Memory Matters. Lema Gabawi, Aurora Prize Selection Committee member and president of Gabawi Peace Foundation Africa. And Hamdi Ulukaya, Aurora Prize Selection Committee member and founder and CEO of Chobani. Please give them a warm welcome.
So I must say I'm having an Aurora moment to be put in the lineup between a Grammy-nominated artist like Aloe and in front of a Nobel laureate. It's a moment. Good evening, everyone. You know, having been Aurora's friend for some years now, I have recently joined the board of this truly great and inspiring organization. I'm honored to be an active participant in this meaningful, mission-driven initiative. It often seems these days that we live in unusually turbulent times, with numerous crises rattling the world. But if we take a look at our past, at the Holocaust, at the 9/11 attacks, and other atrocities, we will see the same enduring struggle against hatred and violence. By using our historical memory, we can gain insight into the universal human experience and find a new way to engage with the present. We can understand the importance of perseverance and compassion, giving us strength to act against oppression and injustice. I think the Aurora co-founders found a brilliant solution to the challenge of moving on from a traumatic experience while paying respect to the enormous significance of the events when they came up with the empowering concept of gratitude in action. It is truly transformative, and I do believe it offers us an efficient and inspiring way to repair the world we live in. So I want to thank Aurora for that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else we can achieve together. Thank you.
So honored to be here. I've been to many gatherings like this. Not because of yogurt, because of the other type of works. This is very special. I don't know who put the tone. I don't know how it came together. It's a fine line connecting to years and years ago, but still very alive pain and sorrow in the land that I also lived. And the memories are still in the rooms, in the pictures, in stories. And now connecting to the world, humanitarians all around the world and challenges that they're facing, the work that they're doing, and celebrating at the same time the hope. And how do you walk through those, challenging path? It's been an amazing night so far, and I'm sure it's going to continue this way. I will go to my childhood for a second, Noubar, if you allow me. And I'm a nomad. I'm a Kurd. I grew up in a region called Dersim, and our families for generations of nomads, sheep herders, cheese makers, yogurt makers. When we were up in the mountains, I remember when the shepherds took the sheep and go away for grazing for the night, we would sit around the fire and we would wait for Yerevan radio to come up. And that was the only time we could listen most authentic Kurdish songs. And it would cover all the valley, the mountains, the stars. We would just get lost in those songs. We always wondered, where is this magical land is, where the song is coming from? Same song still coming tonight. And I will finish it with this line. We were just in the room looking at the candidates, how do you pick one? I guess everyone said the same thing. How do you pick one? But in those same mountains I grew up, before the shepherds and nomads, they would go up in the mountains. They would wait for a time for the winter to be over, so they can safely go up in the highs. They can take their livelihoods, their children, their loved ones, but they have to have some kind of trust that winter is over. They will need some kind of signs. In the middle of the snow, you will see these little flowers will come out. In Kurdish, we call them berfin. In translation, is snow flowers. And these tiny little blue and a little bit of reddish on top of them is just so beautiful. They're very little. Their body is very tiny. And will just pop out of the snow in the middle of your so-called winter. It's still cold. It's still dark days. You still need coats. You still cannot trust anything that you see. But yet these flowers will still come out. And we call them fighters. They're the one who brings the snow to the end. They're the ones who brought the winter to the end. They don't really care about if they will see the spring, but they still fight the snow. They still fight the winter. They still fight the dark days. And they were so excited to bring the spring. And the spring comes. What we see, the humanitarians all around the world, and I see them. I see them in the borders. I see them in most challenging places, and I see them here in this room. They are those flowers. They fight in the dark days when the chances are very little. They probably won't see the justice and beauty and good days come, but they will fight the snow. And we will pick one of them, but they're all the fighters. So thank you for all you do for the hope of the spring, and I'm so honored to be here with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hamdi. You make good yogurt and you gave good speech. That was not a part of my script. And I'm also going to go off script for a moment. Aloe Blacc, darling, you can sing. When Dr. Gregorian called me and said, Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanity, I was sold. Awakening humanity. This is something that we need in our world today. Hello, dear guests. I have been watching Aurora grow for many years. And to me, the most remarkable aspect of the prize is the central idea of awakening humanity. This vision resonates deeply with me as a survivor of war, but also reminding me of the word in my native Pele language, Kuka Tono, which means we are one. Regardless of our backgrounds, we are human beings. And Aurora embodies the idea with its spirit of unity and inclusivity. Bad things happen when all of us good people in this room do nothing. But every day we see modern day heroes and sheroes walk among us, selflessly dedicating their lives to saving others and giving them dignity. It is my honor, my distinct honor tonight, to present the 2024 Aurora Humanitarian. My brother Abdullah Adid from Bahrain and Denmark, a fearless advocate who has dedicated his life to defending human rights and promoting political freedom in his native Bahrain, the Middle East, and North Africa since the 1970s. My other brother, Denis Mukwege, from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a gynecologist and a human rights activist who has been working since 1999 to provide medical, legal, and psychosocial aid to women subjected to sexualized gender-based violence and to advocate for gender equality and the elimination of rape as a weapon of war in DRC and the rest of the world. My sister Nazreen, strong woman, strong girl from Iran, a human rights defender who has been working as an attorney since 2003, representing Iranian opposition activists, young prisoners, women's rights activists, including women who are arrested for protesting compulsory headscarf, hijab in Iran. Unfortunately, some of these outstanding individuals were unable to join us tonight. They are being represented by family members and supporters. Now, it is my honor to ask all of you to turn to the screen as we watch a short film about the work of these courageous individuals, all of them winners in their own right. Congratulations.
Nous vivons ces chaos depuis 1996. Ils ont grandi dans la violence et ils ne connaissent qu'une chose, la violence.
من از اینکه وضعیت قانون و عدالت تو جامعه ما روز به روز بدتر میشه میترسم. میترسم که از اینی که هست بازم بدتر بشه.
We have a very urgent needs nowadays. What are we going to do about that? That's our concern, the urgent need of people.
Quand j'ai fait 10 ans au bloc opératoire, j'ai commencé à me rendre compte que mon travail au bloc n'était pas suffisant.
I would prefer that always been for the people rights, not for me personally. But sometimes you need to sacrifice. Who is going to change the situation? Who is going to give answers to these urgent needs?
من میتونم برم زندان رو تحمل کنم ولی وقتی که نمیتونم کار کنم احساس میکنم دست و پای من اینجوری بسته شده و
Seule la lutte contre l'impunité peut briser la spirale des violences. Il n'y aura pas de paix ni développement économique et social sans respect des droits de l'homme. Il n'y a pas de paix durable sans justice.
What courageous people these three nominees are, and what great speeches those were. We want to use this chance to thank the global professional services firm EY, the independent observer of the Aurora Prize that's been monitoring the selection process since 2015. Every year we thank them. Thank you for helping us again this year. Let us now welcome on stage our esteemed friend, Lord Ara Darzi, Chair of the Aurora Prize Selection Committee and Co-Director of the Institute of Global Health Innovation at Imperial College London.
Good evening, dear friends. Let me start by thanking our co-founders for giving us this amazing opportunity to recognize and celebrate the unsung heroes of our time. I also wish to extend my gratitude to all of the supporters of Aurora, whose invaluable contributions have been instrumental in shaping the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative into what it is today. And of course, my heartfelt congratulations go to Abdulhadi, Nazrin, and Denis, the 2024 humanitarians. We're all very proud of you. Your bravery, your dedication reflects the very spirit of the Aurora Prize and our philosophy, as we've heard from our founder, of gratitude in action. And we are delighted to express our deepest appreciation to you for your outstanding work. Every year, we keep discovering more and more amazing stories, amazing people of fearless, willing to risk everything to help others. The esteemed members of the selection committee who met this afternoon and I are finding it harder and harder to select the few, to be named the Aurora Humanitarians, but this challenge is also quite inspiring. May I also use this opportunity to remind you that nominations are now open. We're already open for 2025 Aurora Prize, so you can put forward a hero you admire after the ceremony. Since its launch, the Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanity has transformed the lives of those facing the devastating circumstances of war, conflict, displacement, and persecution, with a focus on people of the greatest need. And as the global Aurora movement grows, we intend to continue raising awareness of the outstanding achievements of the grassroots humanitarians who make all of this possible. So thank you very much, and I'm very much looking forward to the laureate's name being announced. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Darzi, for everything you have given to Aurora and the world. Over the years, the initiative has developed many beautiful traditions to honor remarkable people whose compassion compels them to take action amid suffering and intervene on behalf of others. According to tradition, the names of Aurora Humanitarians are inscribed in the Chronicles of Aurora, a unique modern manuscript created with ancient Armenian techniques and materials and kept in the Matenadaran Museum, the world's biggest repository of ancient Armenian manuscripts.
There's another tradition that goes back to the initiative's namesake, Aurora Vardanyan, born Archbishop Martikyan, the young woman you saw in the film that opened our event tonight, who's a symbol of survival and redemption, a woman who lived through the atrocities of the genocide perpetrated by the Ottoman Empire and then heroically relived those horrors for the world to know the truth. We're delighted to tell you that a new monument honoring this fearless icon will be unveiled by Aurora in the fall in Yerevan, Armenia.
Aurora also means dawn, Arshaluis in Armenian, which stands for hope. One of our traditions is inviting a local girl with the same name to the ceremony and asking her to announce the laureate. Our little Aurora Manukyan is 8 years old, and her dream is to become an astronaut. She was named Aurora because her parents were inspired by the first Aurora Prize Ceremony in 2016 and the story of Aurora Manukyan.
In a few moments, we'll know which of the 3 outstanding humanitarians will receive the 2024 Aurora Prize. To do that, we ask our little Aurora from Los Angeles to please come join us on stage. Dear Aurora, please come up for the announcement. Aurora, please tell us the name of the 2024 Aurora Prize laureate.
Denis Mukwege.
We'd also like to ask the co-chairs of the events, members of the co-founders' families, Aurora Humanitarians, and laureates and members of the selection committee to come on stage and join Denis.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with profound humility and responsibility that I accept the Aurora Award for Awakening Humanity. This honor not only recognizes our shared struggles, but also amplifies the voices of those who have suffered in silence and whose cries to justice often go unheard. In the heart of my beloved Congo, the resilience and dignity of survivors of sexual violence inspire me every action. Their courage compels us to confront a man-made tragedy and to ignite a beacon of hope and healing response. This award is not mine alone. It belongs to every nurse, doctor, counselor who work tirelessly at Panzi Hospital and beyond. It is for every advocate for peace, justice, and human rights who believes in a future where justice prevails and healing is accessible to all. With this recognition, the Aurora Humanitarian Initiative not only shines a light on the ongoing struggles in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but also sparks a global call for action. It reminds us that being human is not about merely surviving, but that we all have the opportunity to thrive when we stand together against injustice. I'm grateful for your commitment to supporting human rights defenders and for the platform you have provided us to spread crucial awareness about our work. I also wish to extend my gratitude and admiration to my fellow honorees, Nasrin and Abdul Had. Your perseverance in the face of adversity at great personal risk and your dedication to freedom and justice inspires us all. I wish you both continued strength and hope that you know that the humanitarian community has not forgotten you, nor the important causes to which you have dedicated your life. In closing, I would like to emphasize the crisis in my Congolese brothers and sisters are still facing today in the context of a war of aggression. The eastern region of our country is occupied by militant groups that are supported by neighboring Rwanda and Uganda. These armed groups are raping women and children at horrific rates, massacring our people with impunity, and displacing millions primarily so they can illegally export our minerals for their economic benefit. And yet, the world remains silent and continues partnering with, providing aid to, and doing business with these neighboring states and dictatorships. When will world leaders finally put humanity over profit and recognize the sovereignty of the Congo, just as it recognized the sovereignty of Ukraine? We need your voice. We need your action, the help of the international community to end this Congolese tragedy. Let us take this moment not just as a celebration, but as a renewal of our commitment to fight for a world where humanity shines its brightest. Together, let us continue to awaken hope and nurture the flame of compassion and dignity for survivors of sexual violence, for women, and for all humankind. Thank you.
I just want to say on behalf of Dalia and me how much we have been honored to be here tonight. We hope we'll see all of you next year when Aurora celebrates its 10th anniversary. Dalia, we'll be back.
Yes, we thank you all and wish you all the best. I'm Dalia Attallah.
David Ignatius, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for such a moving evening, and congratulations.